another plant material, which is a deciduous large tree. It's called Jacaranda acutifolia. The Jacaranda acutifolia, it's a beautiful street tree. Jacarandas now blooming. They bloom in late May, June, July. And the jacarandas are one of Jordan's favorite plants, especially in Amman. Prefers mild climate, does not tolerate frosts before established, needs frequent watering, shade tree, and is good as a street tree. For everybody's knowledge, Jacaranda acutifolia is a tree which was brought to Jordan. And look at the color of the jacarandas. And I will put usually the color at the beginning of my drawing, and I'll mix it with a dark, light green, and then I will put the jacarandas and the color of the jacarandas. The jacarandas are beautiful plant material. They are one of a specimen tree. It's by itself, it is so golden in color, not golden, but it's just a matter of figure of speech. When you deal with jacarandas, jacaranda is in early summer. It's one of the few plants that in early summer you will see it blooming. I like the color of this plant, the shade of this plant. It prefers sun. Rate of growth is medium, drought resistant, shade blue to violet color. And that's why you will see sometimes it depends on where you check the color of this plant, from which angle you are getting it. You will see it blooming in this type now in Jordan and in the Mediterranean. For one reason or another, this tree was brought to Jordan as early as people can think about. King Abdullah I of Jordan brought it from Turkey in the late 30s or early 30s. And he planted it at the royal court. This plant, there are about 40 or 50 of these plants in the royal court. And at one time, I believe 15 years ago, I did something for the royal court. I did some planting design, and I looked at this plant, and I really was fond of the way the size of this plant. Get to about, the height is 18 meters, which is huge. And the height of this plant gets to beautiful size, and it spreads. And if you have a street and you want to cover it in both sides, you can cover it very easily because it overlaps with each other. It's a broad conical shape. Spread is about 10 meters. تصلح للزراعة في الشوارع الرئيسية. الملك عبد الله الأول رحمة الله عليه حضرها الأردن وانتشرت بالأردن بكثافة، سريعة النمو نوعا ما، الري مستمر، متساقطة الأوراق, but it's a beautiful plant material. Again, here we come to the trunk, and as I said it, usually the trunk I will add a touch of the yellow for the sake of the artistic and to show the plant rounded trunk system that I am using here. But when you go up, you start seeing the darkness of these, what do you call them, the branches of the jacaranda. The jacaranda, I like this plant, and I am using it. I use it heavily sometimes in my design work as a landscape architect. But the jacaranda, as I said, you have to take good care of the jacarandas from time to time, and keep it simple. Either one of them or a group of them in the house. I love to have them on the southern portion of the houses or the designs, because it will allow for it's deciduous, so it loses the leaf. The winter sun gets in, and during the summer, it's a beautiful coverage. It's really, it gives you an outstanding shade. Jacaranda acutifolia. And here we have some grasses, just to give it some background. Usually, when you plant or you study the tree itself, any tree, any plants, if you sketch it and you draw it, you're not going to forget it. You're not going to forget the texture, the leaf. The leaf, as you say, it is like a smaller leaves, about half a centimeter on both sides, and they are double, and they are on the lighter shade of this. Now I'm doing it, it's like a grassy looked leaf, pipinated, which means alternate sects of them. And if you just take your hand and take it out, you only see this line of plants. So you can just, it's a very fragile plant as such, but you can see it gets to about, the leaf is about 8 to 12 to 10 centimeters, about 2 centimeters or 1 centimeter in width. Again, now we're going to come to the same story of the beautiful flower itself, where you can see there you go. Touch blue, sometimes you have some blues, a reflection of the blues into this plant. Jacaranda acutifolia, sharp leaf jacaranda. Again, 18 meters in height, about 10 meters in width, broad conical shape, alkaline soil, loves it, dry soil, loves sun, and it's drought resistant. You cannot go wrong as a landscape architect. In the United States, in some areas, or in China, Istanbul, you see some streets completely, the whole street, even in the southern continent of America, southern states of Brazil and all, some of these, you'll see streets of jacarandas. In South Africa, beautiful use of jacarandas. And you see thousands and hundreds of thousands of these streets overlapping and covering the streets. And some people, it's a litter tree street, which means it's, you know, because it loses the leaves, it starts ripping and coming up. But no, still, I consider those deciduous are beautiful plants for one reason, because of their oxygen that gets to the air, and plus, you know, because of its not aromatic value, but because of the colors. Also, it's used in some medical values and some colors and some dyeing to dye the clothes. You can see that jacaranda has a lot of values. As we said, the flowers can attract your eyes fastly, especially at the beginning of the summer. It's not that long-lived as a flower tree, but it stays for about a month and a half to 2 months, and this is good enough. Jacaranda acutifolia. Thank you.